is what we're going to do. And that leads us to creating that structure. So we want to start creating that structure. Remember, I talked about that house, right? You need to have a solid foundation. That is what the structure is. That's going to allow you to have that solid foundation because you do not want your life to crumble. You don't want to build this big dream house, this big dream lifestyle, right? And then all of a sudden, it just comes tumbling down because you did not build the structure right. So the structure is going to start off with your channels, your moments, your phases, and your habits. So let's start off with the channels, which is your day, right? We all go through life every single day. And how we do that is with 24 hours. But what I'm going to show you is how to create and simplify that 24 hours. Because a lot of times we just find ourselves wasting time because we don't understand our day, because it's not broke up the way that it should be. So it all starts off with channels. So that's the first layer, which is the morning, midday, and night. Now, how you want to do that is you want to break it up in days. So one day is 3 days. So your first 8 hours is going to be your first day. The next 8 hours is going to be your second day. The next 8 hours is going to be your third day. So how you're going to do that is if you wake up at 6 a.m., then at 2 p.m., guess what? That's day one. And then the next day will be 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then the next day will be 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Now, we all go through life different. So you want to create this for you because this is who you're doing it for. So if 8 a.m. is your start time, so be it. If 12 p.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., whenever your start of your day is, that's day one. And then break it up in 8-hour sections and give yourself 3 days to maximize your day. Because if you do not do that, then you find yourself wasting time throughout the day. We want to create efficiency when it comes to our day. So I'm going to show you how to break that day up, because what we do a lot of times is we just waste hours. So you don't want to continue wasting those hours. You want to make them count for you. And how you do that is by breaking up your days. Think about $100 bill, right? And $25 you just wasted. And you're like, I shouldn't have bought that. Like, I shouldn't have spent my money on that. Like, oh. Now, do you get angry and then the other $75 you just throw it out the window? And you just say, I don't want that $75 because it's $25. I did something bad and I shouldn't have did it, right? But with your day, you do that, right? Think about your 24 hours like that $100 bill, right? If you have a bad morning and say your first 8 hours of that day is horrible, what do you do with the other 16? You throw it away and you say, you know what? Today was horrible. I'm just going to relax, take a break. I'm going to start over, and then tomorrow I'm going to be better, right? Have you ever done that? I know I have a lot of times where I just wasted time because the simple fact is I always say I got the next day and I'll be better because this day is already ruined. I don't feel it. Now imagine if you had those first 8 hours and you're like, you know what? Boom, my first day was horrible, but my next day in 8 more hours, I'm going to be great. Or even maybe those 8 hours or 4 hours of those, you don't feel as good, but then you get it together. Then that next 8 hours, you make it count. Stop throwing away precious time, because time is the most valuable resource and you cannot get it back. Money you can get back, friends, jobs, all of that stuff. You can get it back in life. But once that time happens, like boom, that second's gone. That second's gone. That second's gone. That second gone. I'll never get it back. Time is the most valuable resource that we have. but yet we tend to waste it. Like we have endless time when we do not. So just like that $100 bill, stop wasting your time and utilize the rest of it. Don't throw your day away because you had a bad section in it, right? So that's what channels is about, breaking your day up, right? Now, that's going to allow you to create that time management because now you got that smaller window. So now it's going to be easier for you to break things up and then hit the reset button. Woo, reset, right? Now focus. So in your morning, you want to start to focus. Now, I don't want to mix you guys up because I did go to that time management, but you need to follow these 4 transformations. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do not start off at 2. Do not start off at 3. You want to start off at 1 and you want to go straight down every single day, especially in the beginning, because you want to create the right routine. If you don't know what to focus on, like I said before, then what are you doing every day? That's the most important thing. Like I said, when you sat at that desk after work and you was ready to get going and you was so amped and just ready, but you didn't have the focus because you didn't know what to focus on. You want to start off with focus every single day. What am I going to focus on? Let me become great at it. Then let me figure out the time management. So let's go back up to focus, right? So now with your day, say in the morning, you want to figure out what you want to focus on. In the beginning, you don't know what to focus on, right? A lot of times people say, well, focus on this, focus on that. What is that going to do for you? Right? If you don't do that in the morning, how are you going to focus on it? Right? Or if that's really not a high priority and now you start focusing on it for no reason because you think it's what you're supposed to focus on, then you're focusing on the wrong thing. Then guess what eventually you do? You create that forced discipline. Remember, flow discipline is what we're trying to create. So with the focus, you want to start off in the morning. Boom. Start finding out what you do in the morning, right? Before you can focus, you need to know what to focus on. So let's focus on your morning, right? That's going to be that first focus. Morning, that first day. Let's focus in the beginning. What am I doing when I get up? What am I thinking, right? What is the first thing I do? What is the second thing I do? What is the third thing I do? And you want to actually kind of figure out, okay, what my morning look like, right? Now, once you actually see your morning, because a lot of times you'd be like, I know what I do in the morning. I ask people this all the time. Well, what you know what you do in the mornings? Yeah, I know what I do in the morning. And yep, I know what I do at night. And then you say, okay, so what do you do in the morning? They say, well, I get up and then I get dressed and then I go to work. That's not knowing what you do in the morning. When I say what you do in the morning, I mean, yep, I get up at 6 a.m. The first thing I do, I grab some water. I drink it, 25 ounces. Then I head to the bathroom. I might have to use the bathroom. If I don't have to use the bathroom, then I brush my teeth. Then after I brush my teeth, I get in the shower. Then after I get out the shower, I oil my body up. Then I go get dressed and on and on and on. That's knowing what you do in the morning, not, yeah, I get up, I get dressed, I eat some breakfast, and then I get the kids ready, and then I go to work. That's not knowing what you do in the morning, right? So you want to start focusing on your morning and seeing what you do. That's the first step. Same thing with midday. Same thing with night. Let's start gathering all that information about you, because that's what you're doing. You capturing what you do daily. And we're going to do that for a while. It's different for everybody. So just because it only take me a week, it might take you 2 weeks. It might take 3 weeks, right? It just all depends on your determination on how fast you want to do it as well, and how much information you gathering and how much information you writing down. So then you can start to create a plan, right? You want to create that plan and you want to start what you need to focus on. Prioritize it, right? You start off with that list. 1, 2, 3, 4, however many you got in that morning. Let's prioritize what is going on so we can become the most efficient. Because when you can start to focus now and you know what you're doing in the morning, I got that list, right? I know everything I need to do in my channels, right? So now we can start creating that priority list. So we got channels, right? We kind of see what we need to do. Now you're probably wondering, okay, well, I get that. I got to focus on this. Okay, well, once I get all that, then what? Right? Then what I do? Then we go to the next step, which is moments. Aware, understand, control. Because that's what we do every single day. We have moments, right? All different type of moments. Some moments are big. Some moments are small. What I want you to do is focus on the small moments, because that's what truly matters in life. It's too many times we focus on the big picture, right? Like, well, I see that big picture. That's what I need to focus on, right? And that's where a lot of times you go wrong and you fail, because you're trying to focus on this big picture instead of the little picture, because all the little things is going to create that big thing. And if you focusing only on the big, how do you see all the small, right? I did that. Been there, done that. I'm sure you have too, my whole life. I always focused on the big thing, right? I'm just going to give you an example of, like, in the morning, flossing my teeth, right? We all know we're supposed to brush our teeth. You know, you want to floss because that's a good thing, you know, if you're flossing, right? And then you might add some Listerine, whatever, right? Or mouthwash, whatever you want to call it. So the simple fact is I never used to floss, right? Because I was only focused on the big picture. Like, okay, it helped my teeth. But in my head, I was like, it take too long. And then I used to use the actual strings that you wrap around your fingers and then you floss like that. It used to hurt my fingers because my teeth are tight. And it was like, that hurt my fingers, man. I was only thinking of problems and not the solution. It's because I was thinking too big, right? I had to start to break it down. And I had to become aware of what was going on. I was skipping a step. Yeah, I was aware that I wasn't flossing, right? But I wasn't aware of what was making me not floss. Yeah, I used my little fingers and I thought it was all about time. And then I started to become aware and I was like, okay, well, I can use the toothpicks, right? That don't hurt my fingers, right? So now I start to become aware of little things that I wasn't thinking about because I started to really focus and figure out what was going on. Then that allowed me to start understanding, okay, my fingers are not going to hurt. And then I start to really understand the time that it took. I'm thinking in my head it take like, you know, you think so big, like it take like 10, 15 minutes to floss. Like I hated it. But the thing is, when I was flossing, I used to overdo it. It goes back to that force discipline and that flow discipline. I was forcing myself to do it a certain way because I didn't do it enough to really create what I wanted to create for me, to make it easier for me. I'm sitting there watching videos or watching other people and this is how they do it. So this is what I'm doing, but it wasn't for me. So by me understanding what was going on, I started to gain so much knowledge about flossing, it allowed me to actually control it. And that was probably about 2-3 years ago. I haven't missed a day since then. I floss every single day, and sometimes more than once. It's because I created a system for me. And that's what you have to do with your life, with so many other things. You have to create it for you. Yeah, you can go get some tips from videos and stuff like that. I'm not saying nothing is wrong with that. But at the end of the day, you still have to create it for you. Because if it don't fit, then you ain't going to continue to wear that shoe, right? So that's moments, which takes us to the next layer, which is phases, right? Build, implement, live. So let's go back to the flossing. Let's stay on that, right? Let's stay on the flossing. So now I'm going to show you how to build because, you know, you want to build with awareness, right? So I'm already aware, you know, understand, I'm controlling it, right? I'm controlling it. So now, okay, building is about stacking, right? So now you want to stack on that. So, right. So now my morning, right? I'm focusing. I got the time management, the discipline going. I know what's going on, right? It created that confidence. I'm flossing every day. I'm like, yeah, or whatever it is in your life. You know what I'm saying? You might After work, you might be working every single day now, putting in that hour or 2 hours that you said, and you like, yeah. So now let's start building on it, right? So now with the flossing, I build on it, right? So now I'm like, okay, I know how long it takes me to floss. Okay, now I know next I'm going to brush my teeth after I floss, right? So now I'm stacking on because, yeah, I used to brush my teeth a certain way. And sometimes we get in these habits and we continue to do it a certain way because that's how we learned when we was younger, right? Or we seen somebody else do it, so we just continue to do it because that's what we think is the best for us. But now I'm starting to learn that. So now I'm starting to put the floss together, brushing my teeth, the mouthwash after. I'm creating a real plan and a process for my morning routine for hygiene for my mouth, right? Because now, since I became aware of the little thing, right? I seen the little thing. That was the flossing, brushing my teeth, mouthwash. You stacking, you building. But the big picture, right, is actually cleaning my mouth, right? Being having hygiene or whatever it is in your mouth, like just cleaning your mouth. So that's the big picture, making sure my teeth is clean inside my teeth so I can have fresh breath and everything. That's the big picture. And a lot of times we just think about the fresh breath and you just say, okay, I just got to brush my teeth and stuff. But it's more to it than that. And that's in life. With a job, when you first start off, you start off with little things and then you gradually get more responsibilities and you gradually build on it, right? So it's the same thing with that floss, and I built on it. And then I hit that ultimate goal. Now I'm building something. I'm building that plan. Then I'm building that process along the way. Now I got the process, and guess what? I'm off and running, right? Now imagine if you continue to stack so many things, right? And now I'm implementing it every day. Like I said, I've been doing it for over 3 years now, 2 to 3 years, because I implemented the right process, which now has allowed me to live with it every single day, right? So you want to start building with awareness, right? And your mornings, your midday, your night, and then implementing with understanding. Same thing, morning, midday, night, and then living with control. Morning, midday, night. It's that simple, people. It's not complicated to build that structure. I'm not telling you nothing that you don't already know. But what I have done is simplify this. I like to say KISS. Keep it super simple. That's what I have done. I have kissed the structure. This is how you create that structure in your life so you do not have a faulty foundation. And that house is going to last for a lifetime. You're not going to have to redo that foundation. You're not. Because it's built so solid. Yeah, you will maintenance it. But you don't have to build that house anymore. So that's how you do it. And then that middle layer, the core, which is habits, right? And that's organized. So we're going to jump into organize. I've showed you how to build that structure. Now I'm going to show you how to organize your life because I talked about it. You build that solid structure. Yeah, you're going to have maintenance and stuff like that. This is where this kicks in. This is going to allow you to just completely kiss your life and just continue to grow every single day. Really simplify it because a lot of times we build that structure, but then it's like, okay, I get it. Now I got this foundation, but it's like, do I choose this siding and then what type of siding should I pick? What type of roof should I pick? What type of paint? All that stuff with your house, right? So I'm going to simplify it for you because now you can just put it into categories, right? To organize, you must have categories, right?